What would happen if your hands couldn't speak, but your heart could? This story holds a powerful lesson you'll discover at the end. In a city where everyone spoke with words lived Nilo, a boy who communicated with signs and had an imagination as vast as the sky. Though he didn't speak a single word with his voice, his fingers danced in the air like butterflies, and everyone who saw him was enchanted. But at his new school, no one understood that silent language. The kids looked at him strangely, laughed, and left him alone during recess. Nilo didn't give up. Every day, he tried to show with gestures what he felt, hoping someone would want to learn to listen without hearing. One day, Luna arrived, a girl with violet braids and a backpack full of crayons. She noticed Nilo expressed himself differently, and she was fascinated. Luna approached without fear. With a big smile, she drew a happy face in her notebook and showed it to Nilo. He smiled and clapped loudly. That's how a friendship began, through drawings, gestures, and many knowing glances. Nilo no longer felt invisible. Together, they built their own language of colors and hands. Soon, other kids began to approach, curious about this new way of speaking. Luna organized a no-voice day during recess. Everyone had to communicate without words. At first, it was chaos, but then magic happened. They laughed, made faces, clapped. They began to understand Nilo, not with their ears, but with their souls and shared play. Nilo, full of joy, taught them how to say friend, play, and I love you in sign language. Everyone practiced with excitement. But just when everything seemed perfect, something unexpected happened. Luna stopped coming to school without any explanation. Nilo looked for her with his eyes, asked with signs, but no one knew anything. He felt alone again, as if the wind had stolen his voice. The other children tried to comfort him, but without Luna, all the colors seemed to have faded. Nilo stopped using signs. One day, the principal called everyone to the courtyard. There was a surprise. In the middle of the stage stood Luna, with a blindfold over her eyes. Everyone fell silent. Luna had lost her sight after a surgery, but her smile was still alive. With a strong voice, she asked for help to learn to live again. Nilo was the first to come forward. He didn't use words. He simply took her hand. Together, they invented a new language, this time of hands and sounds. Luna could no longer see gestures, but she could feel them. Nilo taught her with claps, rhythms, and touches on the palm. The language of empathy was born between them. Little by little, the whole school began to change. Sign language classes were created, along with lessons in auditory and tactile sensitivity. Nilo and Luna gave talks, played, and taught how to communicate with all the senses. Differences became superpowers. There were no more mocking laughs or strange looks. There was curiosity, respect, and new ways to hug without touching. One day, a new girl arrived in a wheelchair. This time, there were no odd stares, only extended hands and a silent welcome. The school had learned to see with the heart, to listen with the eyes, and to speak with the skin. Nilo became the symbol of that transformation. His silence was now a song everyone could feel. Luna, though she could no longer see, became a guide for the younger ones, showing them that a bright soul doesn't need light to shine. Recess was now filled with games where no one was left out. Every child learned that everyone has something to teach. Nilo still didn't speak with words, but his story spoke louder than 1,000 speeches. Because in his world, no voice was needed to be heard, nor eyes to see love. Moral: true communication is born from respect, empathy, and the sincere desire to understand others, no matter the differences. See you very soon with more magical stories that will make your imagination fly and touch your heart in every adventure.